Hello, welcome back. Strawberry no here, back with more Honkai Impact third reactions. Obviously, this is a second part of the series. If you're a little bit confused, check out the playlist on my channel for the previous reaction. And right off the bat, I need to go over some of the things you good people said in the comment section. One of the most pointed out things that the first reaction was that Star Rail and Honkai the Third actually take place in the same universe. Star Rail just takes place, first of all, it's in the future, and second of all, Star Rail, obviously, there are multiple galaxies, multiple planets, whatever, and Honkai the Third's story is contained in just one universe out in the cosmos. That's how it was explained to me, at least. I'm still a little bit confused. Obviously, Weltiang, the same character. One of the only ones from a Honkai Third, right? But I'm confused about the other characters then. Bronya and Seele are in Star Rail, but they're not these characters, right? There are a reincarnation, completely different people with the same names. How does that work story-wise? I'm a little bit confused. One of the first cinematics I saw, Reborn, is a promotional material. It's non-canon, so a lot of the visuals I saw there are just not worth considering, which I didn't know. I kinda wasted some time asking questions about a non-canon cinematics, so whoops. The other thing is the cutscenes we saw are from the game, so the Will of the Herrscher and the Final Lesson are in-game cutscenes. And holy fuck, Final Lesson might be the most hard-hitting cutscene I have seen in a fucking video game in a while. I bet that is crazy to experience it in game. Then we have this stuff I'm watching right now. So the Bronya and Seele stuff is part of a new story arc. I believe the previous story arc concluded with the Final Lesson. Himeko injected some kind of serum into Kiana and got her under control. I guess she awakened as an Herrscher. And another thing is I think this will keep happening. I hope not. I keep confusing Kiana and Kallen. Kiana is the protagonist of the story. One of the protagonists of the story. Kallen is the legendary knight from the old times. And I guess they are just related. I'm not sure about that. If that's part of the story, don't explain it. But my working theory is she's just a descendant. Kiana is just a descendant of Kallen. And the last thing on the docket for now is there are multiple people who requested that I react to version trailers too. Version trailers are, I think, just like in Star Rail and Genshin and ZZZ, it's just character trailers and obviously what new content is coming to the game. So mostly new character trailers, obviously. And my question is, would you guys like me to react to them? I would need to make a separate video of me reacting to version trailers up to the point where I am kind of in reacting to the story. I guess would be the most sensible way to do that, so it would be just a separate video of me reacting to some version trailers, and then when I'm done with all of it I can watch all of the version trailers. If you guys want, I am all for it when it comes to reacting to new hype ass cinematics and character trailers, so yeah, no problem for me. Anyway, that is it. Thank you very much everybody who asked questions, wrote comments. This is why I kinda like this format I'm doing, where I'm reacting to some trailers, I'm releasing the video, I get to read your comments, and then I react to more trailers, because it cleans up a lot of confusion on my part. There's my cat in the background. It cleans up a lot of confusion and adds some context to the story. Obviously, I don't have all the context because you would need to play the game actually, which I might do at some point and maybe react something for you guys on YouTube. But that's what the story recap videos are for, and I think we're gonna hit 2 of them today, so maybe I will get some more info. Obviously, I won't know everything because again, for that I just need to play the game. Anyway, we are coming back to the current thing. I just skipped ahead a little bit to have a more interesting shot in the background, I suppose. Coming in hot with, it's just called Seele. And yeah, let's see what this is all about. This is the continuation of that arc. I think someone wrote in the comments that this arc is about Bronya becoming a Herrscher too, Herrscher of Reason, I believe, after Wealth Young kinda passed it down to her. That's the gist of what I understood from some of the comments trying to explain this to me. And just saying that Bronya is an actual child, or does she just look like that? Just saying that it's so funny seeing a child run around with a fucking combat knife. I know she's like a child soldier, but it's still a little bit of a funny visual. Boots with high platform are not ideal for this kind of activity. I guess that's more of a high heel than a high platform. Man, one thing I really wanna say is the music for these trailers is obviously the visual quality is outstanding too, but like the music is really something fucking else. Cool fit. God damn. What a glow up. Speaking of music that goes hard. Okay, so I'm gonna let the credits roll just because yeah, people said credits often include the song, so might as well just enjoy the music. One thing that was also like pointed out to me, I said that the dragon in Will of the Herrscher cutscene, I called it a mech dragon, and somebody somebody corrected me that it's a Honkai beast. It's not a mech. And I guess Honkai is this like such good fucking music, man. Man, Honkai 3 has some fucking amazing cutscenes and amazing music, I gotta say. And yeah, Honkai is this interesting concept. Oh, that's very cute. Honkai is this very interesting concept where it's this intangible force trying to destroy the world, and like it spawns Honkai beasts and the Herrschers and all of that, and plagues and all that other stuff to kinda wipe us out, to do its bidding. And I'm interested, how does that play out in Star Rail? Obviously, it's not stated. Honkai could be anything, like, right? It could have spawned the, like, Antimatter Legion or number of other things from Star Rail, for all I know. It's just not stated in the story. It's an interesting concept that I didn't think about before. And yeah, so I guess Honkai beasts are not... They kind of look mechanical, but I guess they are just organic, made out of... I guess they are like beings made out of pure malevolent force, so it's kind of hard to tell if they are just organic like us. But specifically, they are not machines, is what I'm getting at. Machines were made by humans to combat the Honkai, but they are not as efficient as Valkyries, from what the comments said. So kind of fucked up that we are using child soldiers to combat the Honkai, but you gotta use every advantage you have. Okay, this is chapter 11 EX. So we have we have Kiana back. Okay, that's...
Kiana, 你还在等什么？ 姬子老师，我不会再逃避了。
Man, it's fucked up that I literally cannot utter a single word during these reactions to these trailers, because I am so focused in on what is happening, because there is so much to say I get stunlocked. That is such a fucking amazing use of the American anthem. That's incredible. Also, it's fucking crazy that I don't know this Himeko, right? I just know the Star Rail Himeko. And it's crazy how I saw her for the first time ever in the final lesson from my perspective as a person who didn't play this game. And they still made me care about this character in like literally 2 in-game cinematics that I saw. That is insane how much like character and world building goes into these cutscenes. The Honkai Impact Third really fucking put in work when it comes to this. Like, I'm not saying Star Rail doesn't have... Star Rail has some cool ass cutscenes. All I'm saying is like this maybe I'm biased because this is new to me, but like those cinematics go crazy. Okay, Meteoric Salvation. There's an interesting shift in tone. Yeah, I will just need to see the like story recaps to know what happened in between. Because fucking the city now looks super dystopian. Like, what the fuck happened? I'm sorry, I know it's... she's obviously like hiding the... essentially the battle suit under the hoodie, but this shot is so funny for some reason. It's just so sudden. Also, goddamn, I kind of... Hold on. She's fucking using a baseball bat now as a weapon? Hey, I know this one. So, I kind of said it before. That was the Reborn promotional material, so I don't think she has like these little horns in the final version. The horns were part of her Reborn suit. But all in all, Kiana has a very fucking cool character design. I really dig her like silver twin tails and the overall look. Also her just running around with a baseball bat now looks so funny. And fucking badass. Okay, I didn't know she can do that. What the hell? Man, that's some Bayonetta shit. Okay, she can do the time stop. I kind of... I thought for a second that also was like a Reborn exclusive, so non-canon thing.
私たちの望み通り変えてみせる。これが私の約束。
Man, Hoyo really needs to get back to doing those heavy lyrical tracks. Literally the best song from Starrail is also just obviously a lyrical track. And I don't know if that's just it could be the thing where I'm watching all of those cinematics together, so it's like compounded. I didn't have to wait years for the next like chapter or whatever to release, so that's why it seems like that to me. But like in Star Rail, we didn't get as many songs with actual lyrics. I don't think at least. That fucking drop is incredible, dude. Holy fucking chills. That honestly might be my favorite song so far. Also, yeah, Honkai is apparently freaking using terrorism now. Might be some villains I'm not aware of that are like trying to further the Honkai agenda. Or just a Herrscher, I guess, decided to plant a fucking nuclear bomb in Neo Tokyo. I don't know where this is taking place. Very interesting. One other thing that somebody pointed out in the comments is that I think the Honkai has the ability to corrupt everything to its will. That's why Valkyries are chosen among like people who are Honkai resistant, not only like for combat purposes, but I think like yeah, they just can turn you to their side even if they can beat you, right? Or something like that. I don't know if I'm right with this train of thought. And yeah, she can now use the abilities she had abilities she gained as a Herrscher to fight the Honkai, which is interesting. Goddamn, that lyrical drop gave me fucking chills, dude. Those cutscenes really are something else. What the fuck, Traveler from Honkai? Traveler from Genshin Impact? So this is chapter 15. Yeah, we are jumping around, like, from my perspective, we are jumping about all really nearly, so a lot of things happen in between those cutscenes and I just don't know, but like I said, more recaps are coming soon. The next one, literally the next one is a recap, so I will have a little bit more context as to what happened in the story. Okay. Those are some people I have not seen before, so I don't know. Is she... She's a punch mommy, okay. Immediately... Who the fuck is that character and how do you pull for her? Oh my god. Interesting. When the impact frames are crazy, go crazy hard in Honkai 3rd. Who's the dude summoning crystals? I'm assuming a Herrscher of some kind. Interesting ability he has. One thing I wanted to mention before and I kinda didn't is that, yeah, somebody also explained to me why Honkai 3rd looks like this, because I said it kind of looks 3D, but not really all the way true. And I believe the answer I gotten is that this is all 3D. Animated in 3D and then passed over in editing in post, passed over with like traditional techniques, so it results in this beautiful blend of 3D and 2D, which is looks quite nice, gotta say.
Greetings,
And yeah,
Captain. Welcome back.
Yep, this is the second operation. This is the second operation center, which are like story recaps for all the arcs. So finally, I will get a crumb of context for the starved.
Back to Honkai Operation Center. In recent stories of Honkai Impact 3rd, Mei has been the center of stage. She returned to the city of Nagazora, regained her Herrscher powers, and once again became the Queen of Thunder.
Okay.
And once again became the Queen of Thunder.
Man, that looks fucking dope. Man, Mei is just cool as fuck in every single iteration of her character, huh? I think I like the one from Genshin the least. But like, man, her Starlight iteration, I guess, is what you would call that. It's also quite fucking cool.
The Queen of Thunder. How did this heiress of a multi-billion-dollar corporation turn into a Herrscher? What did she experience and witness? To answer these questions, we have divided Mei's journey into 4 parts: Origins, Valkyrie, Arc Fugitive, and Returning to Nagazora. Mei Raiden was born on April 13, 1997 in the city of Nagazora.
Hey! Literally my year.
Her
Nice.
father, Ryoma Raiden, was the head of Massive Electric Corporation. Her father, Ryoma Raiden, was the head of Massive Electric Corporation. Mei's mother, however, passed away when she was young, and her name remained a mystery. Mei was enrolled in the elite high school of Chiba Academy. Only children of rich, powerful, and connected people could hope to study there. And Mei Raiden happened to be one of them, and she was so much more. She was beautiful, tall, and intelligent. Everyone in school idolized her. But this didn't last forever. Disaster struck ME Corp that her father owned. Ryoma Raiden became a criminal, guilty of economic fraud, and went missing to avoid arrest.
Okay, you can tell Honkai Impact 3rd is a fantasy game because rich people face consequences for money laundering and fraud, which is such a high fantasy concept, dude.
Mei's life was turned upside down. Her classmates and even teachers turned cold and ostracized her. That was when she learned that their friendship and adulation were only reserved for her family fortune and prestige, and those had disappeared when her father ran away. Left alone to face an uncaring world, Mei soon became extremely jaded and started hearing a voice echoing in the darkness. It promised terrible powers. This world deserves to be destroyed. She chose to become a Herrscher and ignited the 2014 Honkai outbreak in Nagazora. Millions died as a result.
This is also a very interesting concept that the Honkai like reaches out to people to turn them into Hershers. This specific story, I don't know how many of you know the game 1000X Resist. This very story also sort of mirrors what happens in that game, and I find that concept very interesting, where a otherworldly being of massive fucking power offers a very jaded teen a way to do that, and results as expected. Highly recommend for you folks out there 1000X Resist. Amazing fucking story.
As a result. While Mei reveled in her new powers, a mysterious silver-haired transfer student named Kiana Kaslana suddenly appeared to stop her. Instead of trying to kill Mei, Kiana Kaslana suddenly appeared to stop her.
What the fuck is that belt? Are those bullets? So this game takes place in America, huh?
Instead of trying to kill Mei for destroying the city, Kiana appealed to her human conscience. With her help, Mei successfully subdued the Hersher within, and Kiana quickly became a close friend. The two girls met Bronya, and the three of them worked together to flee the stricken city. They were then taken into custody by Himeko, a Valkyrie of Shiksal's Far East branch.
Okay, so that's
Teresa
how the
Apocalypse,
story
who's in charge of
starts.
the Far East
Like,
branch.
I was not aware of any of this, so like one of the first trailers also said like this is a story of Bronya, Kiana and Mei, and I was like, Mei did not appear in any of the cutscenes after that, so I was like, what's her role?
Used all her powers and resources to enroll the three girls into her own Valkyrie training school, St. Freya High. And that was Mei Raiden, an ex-heiress once worth billions who lost both her parents, became ostracized, acquired Hersher powers, destroyed a city.
Honkai Third people are fucking ruthless, dude. Rip and oops.
Met two very good friends and started training to become a Valkyrie and defend the world against the Honkai. Mei was ever fearful of the Honkai within her and agreed to let Himeko implant a heart bomb. The bomb has a sensor that will start a countdown if it detects Hersher impulses within Mei. During her training, Mei and her friends Kiana and Bronya took on many missions that included stopping an ancient Honkai monster, Chio, and recovering a runaway battleship known as the Selene. Mei also demonstrated her superb cooking abilities. She even learned to play video games. But things would once again turn for the worst. Shortly after graduating as fully minted Valkyries, Mei, Kiana, and Bronya were sent to Shiksal's Oceania branch to recover a Hersher core, the Gem of Desire. The gem was placed in an ex-Valkyrie named Wendy, who served as its human vessel. But Wendy eventually lost control and became a Hersher herself. While the young Valkyries battled Wendy,
We did saw her in one of the trailers.
Kokolia from Shiksal's rival faction of Anti-Entropy ambushed them, using a brain chip implant to control Bronya and capture both Wendy and Mei. While Mei was held as a prisoner to be experimented upon for her Hersher powers, Bronya chose to sacrifice herself by burning out her brain chip so that Kiana and the others could rescue Mei and escape. Mei soon realized that her friends often suffered grievously just to save her. A sense of helplessness and a matching desire to get stronger began to grow in her heart. That wasn't the end of the bad news. As Teresa and the Far East branch worked around the clock to wake Bronya from her coma, Shiksal overseer Otto Apocalypse suddenly abducted Kiana and took her to his secret headquarters. It turned out that the overseer always had a secret plan of reviving a Hersher known for her burning hatred against humanity. Mei, once hopeful that she could protect the world as a Valkyrie, realized that she simply wasn't strong enough. Bronya went into a coma to save her, Kiana was kidnapped, and her ultimate superior, Otto Apocalypse, turned out to be a scheming supervillain who would soon unleash a terrible Honkai disaster upon the entire planet. Once again, Mei's life entered another pivotal moment. Kiana was revealed to be an artificial clone designed by Otto that served one purpose only: to serve as a vessel to Sirin, the second Hersher who was defeated in the year 2000.
Okay, so Kiana is an artificial human, so was she like, because she looks so much like Helen, is she like made from her DNA or something?
To rescue Kiana and stop the impending Honkai eruption, Teresa of the Far East Branch rebelled against Overseer Otto. Mei also became part of the alliance forged by Teresa and Anti-Entropy. And together they fought their way into the headquarters of Sheiksal itself. While battle raged, Seele began to stir in her slumber. The second Hersher gradually assumed control over Kiana's body and summoned a horde of Honkai beasts. To help clear the way to the possessed Kiana, Teresa decided to remove the heart bomb from Mei. Mei was grateful for Teresa's trust. Armed with the power of the Hersher within, she easily defeated numerous enemies. But all her struggles were in vain. When the rebels stepped into the heart of Sheiksal, Seele's persona had already succeeded in fully possessing Kiana. A terrible battle followed. Seele tore away the Gem of Conquest from Mei's body and acquired even greater powers. The brutal removal of the Hersher core also took Mei out of the fight. Just when all hope was lost, Himeko entered into the fray and bravely fought Seele. Her selfless fight gave everyone the time they needed to escape. Teresa and the exhausted rebels withdrew from Sheiksal. They failed to stop Otto and Seele and became fugitives on the run. The Battle of Sheiksal was yet another blow in Mei's life.
Man, they need to like have a trigger warning for when they are showing parts of that cutscene.
She couldn't save her best friend. Seele even took Mei's core, gaining greater powers to wreak havoc on the entire planet. And in the face of such an enemy, Mei's only option was to flee. Having been on the run for 4 months, Teresa came across witness reports of Kiana at Arc City, located in Shenzhou. Teresa, Bronya, and Mei tried contacting an intel dealer named Grey Serpent. Instead, they came across the Ningyo, a cyborg girl who might know Kiana's whereabouts.
Okay, so the world state is Sheiksal controls the world essentially, but they are furthering Otto's plans, who wanted to revive a Hersher. Succeeded kinda in reviving the Hersher. But why? Is it like a power grab? Does he want to destroy humanity? Obviously, if that's a spoiler and we learn out later on, then let me find out on my own. Just pondering. Also, man, seeing the words Great Serpent and then a cyborg, I'm just reminded of the cyborg goat Grey Fox, the fucking greatest to ever do it.
Who might know Kiana's whereabouts. But Sheiksal's agent Rita suddenly appeared and defeated the 3 fugitives. They were forced to retreat with the Ningyo. The bad news was that the Ningyo no longer had any useful data after being formatted by Rita. Mei, who felt she had been performing poorly in battle, asked Dr. Tesla to make her an augmented battlesuit to work better with her residual Hersher powers. Meanwhile, the fugitives also decided to split their forces in 2. Teresa would respond to Kokolia's request and head to the Deep, located in the Pacific, the Gem of Desire. Mei and Tesla would return to AE headquarters with the Helios to repair the Ningyo for data salvaging and locate Kiana's whereabouts. While Mei and Tesla worked on the Ningyo, the cyborg suddenly conveyed a message from Rita. Rita revealed that Kiana was indeed in Arc City to investigate a mysterious serpent-backed company. Kiana even agreed to form a temporary alliance with Rita. But Rita soon walked into a world serpent trap and lost her S-rank Valkyrie powers. Kiana was also captured by the world serpent. With little options left, Rita thus decided to call Mei for support. Though suspicious of Rita, Mei would not give up any chance of reuniting with Kiana and went back to Arc City eventually. Mei was also surprised that Rita did not lie and even tried working with her. Mei did get what she wanted, reuniting with Kiana. She asked her friend to return to the Hyperion. However, Kiana chose to stay in Arc to stop the World Serpent from creating an artificial Honkai eruption in the city.
So that's what the fucking bomb was.
World Serpent mercenary named Raven tried to stop Kiana, and the 2 girls fought her off, only to realize...
Oh my fucking god, that design goes crazy hard. That design is certainly speaking to my personal interests.
Realized that Raven succeeded in delaying them. A wounded Mei could only see her friend tapping into the forbidden void powers to send the detonating Honkai reactor away from the city and save millions of people. Kiana passed out from overexerting herself and fell. Her deadly descent was stopped by a tree that sprouted from a lance. Mei rushed forward to save her friend, only to find out that Durandal, the most powerful S-rank Valkyrie of Schicksal, had arrived first. And this Valkyrie was ordered to take Kiana away.
Is that the punch
No matter
girl?
how hard Mei fought, she couldn't stop Durandal. Once again, the cruel hands of fate tore them apart. The attempted reunion with Kiana at Arc City only deepened Mei's angst. She was too weak to stop Schicksal, and her weakness allowed them to take Kiana. Though imprisoned at Schicksal's Vemur Labs in North Africa, Kiana managed to escape during the chaos caused by a world
Yep,
serpent
that's
attack.
her, okay.
She used her void powers again.
Okay, so she's not really a punch girl, sadly. She uses a lance to fight, I guess. Slight downgrade, but I can still work with that.
Attack. She used her void powers again and teleported herself to Nagazora, the place where she first met Mei. Dr. Tesla detected the energy fluctuations from Kiana's teleportation, and thus the fugitives headed toward the city that was destroyed by the Honkai eruption 3 years ago. Mei and Tesla arrived at the city ruins and tried looking for Kiana. Instead, they found scavenging children living in shelters who survived the Honkai disaster. And the sensei protector of these children who helped build their shelters was none other than Raiden, the world serpent mercenary that Mei fought in Arc City. When facing rising sea levels and Honkai resurgence, and also due to her need to protect the children, Mei agreed to set aside hostilities and join forces with Raiden. Together,
What is that?
they located Kiana's
What is that Honkai beast, that dragon that keeps appearing? Is that a type of Honkai beast, or is that one specific one that keeps like coming back?
whereabouts and even defeated the Honkai dragon Benares.
Okay,
that
there
was
we
trying
literally seconds later.
to protect its queen. Then Raven revealed her intent for coming to Nagazora. She wanted to kill Kiana and end the threat of the Honkai she poses. Nevertheless, Raven gave Mei a chance to stop herself.
I mean, kind of understandable. At this point, they are walking high-yield nuclear bombs.
Drew her blade without hesitation
But-
and ended her brief alliance
But the power of friendship can suppress the nuclear fucking explosion that leaves no survivors.
with Raven. But without her Hersher gem, Mei was no match against Raven. The mercenary even scoffed at her, calling her no different than an ordinary human. Mei knew that Raven would kill Kiana once she was defeated. She decided to sacrifice herself and started concentrating Honkai energy within her. Raven was shocked. She just witnessed a coreless ex-Hersher releasing a sudden burst of terrible power. She therefore allowed Mei to take Kiana away. After enduring many battles and defeats, Mei was finally able to bring Kiana home. But then Dr. Tesla told her the bad news. The 3 Hersher cores within Kiana had overloaded her body with Honkai infection. She had less than 2 months to live. Mei found herself utterly helpless after hearing the bad news. She also found that Kiana had lost several senses and could not even taste the food she cooked. The World Serpent, however, was well aware of the relationship between Mei and Kiana. Kevin Kaslana, the sire of the World Serpent, met Mei in person. He was a previous era survivor and lauded as their most powerful warrior. Kevin promised Mei that the World Serpent could save Kiana's life, and that would require Mei to simply become a Honkai Hersher once again. Once Mei became a Hersher, one of the Hersher cores infecting Kiana would dissipate and reappear in Mei instead, greatly reducing Kiana's infection. But Mei would have to leave Kiana and
Interesting that the gems like sort of teleport to them. I thought they need the gems to awaken the powers, not the other way around.
join the World Serpent to ensure that their grand project succeeds. And when Project Stigma successfully reforms the human race and defeats the Honkai, Kiana would no longer have to sacrifice herself to protect the world. To save her dying friend, Mei accepted the Serpent's offer without hesitation. And shortly after making her choice, a channel into the Sea of Quanta suddenly appeared in Nagazora. It turned out that Otto had fired the second divine key to create a channel right through the sea. And this was only possible because of the deal that Kevin and Otto made a few days ago. Kevin told Mei that she should take this chance to absorb Honkai energy seeping from Nagazora and complete her metamorphosis. Everything that began in Nagazora would end in the same city. 3 years ago, Kiana stopped Mei from becoming a Hersher, and the two girls became best friends. And now, Mei has decided to become a Hersher once more, just to save Kiana. When the transformation is complete, Mei will have to betray her friends and join forces with the enemy. But that's the price she needs to pay. Entering the darkness is the only way she can return Kiana to bliss. We're happy that you managed to stay with us and reach the end of this video. We would also like to know what you think about the story so far, and what you would like to see next.
I think
Background
it's
history of
peak
the factions such as the
cinema.
World Serpent, Shixal, and Anti-Entropy? Or background stories of characters on your Valkyrie roster? Perhaps even secret technologies of the previous era? Do leave your opinions in the comments section.
Okay, so now I have a lot more context to work with. Whoa, my fucking god. Yeah, I just looked at the I just looked at the recording and saw his glowing ass eyes in the background. Why is he so wretched? So yeah, now I have a lot more context to work with, so let's swiftly move on to the animated short Lament of the Fallen. Man, that Mei design goes crazy hard. But that's like zero news for Hoyo. They have like amazing designs in all of their games, literally all of them. Kind of crazy to see actual hand-to-hand combat in a Hoyo cutscene. Yo! Man, she was about to fucking hit move her with that whole ass bench. How does the animation just keep getting smoother? I mean, Hoyo learned, like, that's the best part about Hoyo, probably, that they just kept learning.
無理やりに笑う。あなたは私をみんなを助けてくれた。なのに一人で全てを自分の命をも犠牲にして。レイ先輩。
それは私の使命だから。
世界を救いたいなんて。そんなの分かってる。
レイ先輩。
どう耐えればいいっていうの。レイ
先輩、ダメ。
私にとってこの世界なんかよりもキアナちゃんの方がずっと大事よ。
Jesus fucking Christ. Hoyo knows how to produce hype is all I'm gonna say about that. Jesus goddamn Christ. Okay, those are some ridiculous heals though. Not even really a heal, I guess a heal platform weird hybrid thing. Man, I wanna play the fucking game so bad right now. And Hoyo like seems like they were learning a lot from developing these games in this time, because obviously they weren't such a gigantic corporation like they have become after launching Genshin. And a lot of people also... And the music is really something else. Also the visuals, holy shit. People keep referring to the story of Honkai the Third as in parts. So we have part 1, part 1.5 and part 2. And I don't know if if this is still like part 1 or part 1.5. How do these parts necessarily work? Is I guess the question I had. That, and also, I once said that the story of Honkai the Third is over because I thought it's over, but the story is not complete apparently. Only like I said, specific parts are complete, but the story is still ongoing, which I was kind of shocked to find out, honestly. I thought like the story is like fully done. So this is Reawakening, new chapter trailer. So is that Seele as a Herrscher, or am I creeping?
私はわからないのですか。キアナ、私はすべてを変えます。
Okay, that's definitely not her. Okay, and we have another operation center, which will hopefully fill in some of those blanks. Yeah, the last operation center didn't really touch upon the things that happened with Seele and Bronya, and I'm also curious as to what that
Greetings,
was.
Captains. Welcome back to the Honkai Operations Center. As time flows forward, Fuhua
The-
has shaped
yeah.
the history under different names and identities.
This is the last video we will see for today, and then we can discuss in the comments or
Eighth Herrscher,
compare
who
our
calls herself
notes.
Fuhua, has now appeared before us. But who is she really? What has Fuhua undergone in 50,000 years? Let's take a closer look at the long and solitary life of a warrior. Fuhua was born in the lower district of a previous era metropolis. She grew up practicing martial arts after her father and lived a disciplined life. Due to her humble
Okay.
origin, plain appearance, and straight, reserved personality, Fuhua was a loner when she studied in Sapphire. Only until she saved a classmate during a zombie attack did she gain the acceptance of those around
I can't believe that zombies are just like a natural part of this world. That's so funny.
her and learn to warm up to people. But just when she was beginning to envision a bright future, fate forced her on a path that she had never imagined. The Honkai Impact tore what she knew apart. The city was burned to the ground and her family and friends were killed. Fuhua fled and was saved by Moss Squad 5 leader Himiko. In a world where one could not survive alone, Fuhua could no longer afford to dream and was only left with the mission to eliminate Honkai. Fuhua joined Moth as a soldier, but she was still too weak to save anything. Cities fell. Billions of lives perished. Her savior, Himiko, died in the hands of her comrades after transforming into a Herrscher. She only had the passion to defeat Honkai, not the power to realize it. In the face of an overwhelming enemy, was running away the best thing she could do? Fuhua did not accept her fate. Burning with a grudge against her fate, Fuhua was reborn after challenging death. In an experiment that was deemed lethal, Igor miraculously fused with her and transformed her into a mantis. And the user of Key of Domination, as well as Fan Huang Down, the mantis brought home one victory after another.
Those are a lot of things that I don't know what mean. What do they mean?
Until the final Herrscher descended. Humanity stood no chance in the decisive war. The few that survived forfeited their civilization. They put themselves into cryogenic sleep so they could start anew when the time arrives. And so Fuhua's story enters the next chapter. After 10 millennia of sleep,
This was said that like the previous that we're sorta in a cycle, right, of civilization. When the Honkai gets too strong, it almost wipes us out, and we enter a cycle of like rebuilding from the ground up.
Fuhua was awakened as the executor of Project Ember, whose mission was to guide the people of the new era in developing their civilization and resisting Honkai. Fuhua was not alone in this. She was surrounded by lifelong friends who genuinely cared for her and wanted her to take back her life. Yet she lost all of them in a judgment-class Honkai disaster. Fuhua became alone again. As a mantis, she is immortal. As the user of Fan Huang Down, her memories last forever. In Fuhua's near-everlasting life,
Interesting.
as fleeting as her interpersonal encounters may be, the inevitable parting that ensued would still scar her for life. With her last friend gone, Fuhua closed off her heart. She secluded herself from the earthly world, carried on the mission of eliminating Honkai like the programmed robot. No mercy for the corrupted became her sole code of conduct. She only cared for the mortals' corruption, not their lives. In 1458 AD, Fuhua founded the School of Taishuan at Mount Taishuan, Shenzhou. It was to safeguard Shenzhou and
Again, Honkai has fucking crazy amounts of backstory for its word and characters, like going thousand, obviously, like till the previous cycle of humanity, basically, but like thousands of years of actual solid world building.
Cleanse the
That
world
is
of Honkai.
crazy.
The school of Taishuan, which only had 7 disciples, dominated the martial arts world with the Edge of Taishuan, a secret sword fighting style that could channel Honkai energy. To the ordinary people, Fu Hua was as untouchable as a celestial, and hence was named Phoenix. In 1475 AD, on the Kipchak steppes in Central Asia, Fu Hua single-handedly trounced Shixal's elite forces and their strongest Valkyrie, Kalin Kaslana. This battle also led Fu Hua's first encounter with Auto Apocalypse, her lifelong rival. In the next year, for reasons unknown, her 7 disciples mutinied and razed Mount Taishuan to the ground. Fu Hua was grievously injured, having lost her full power and immortality. Fu Hua temporarily withdrew from the world. Since she could not protect Shenzhou in a powerless state, she made a pact with Auto. Fu Hua joined Shixal and worked for Auto. In return, Auto pledged to watch over Shenzhou in her stead. In 2000 AD, the second Honkai eruption brought total destruction. It was later known as the most devastating Honkai disaster of the current era. In a few days, multiple major cities were destroyed, resulting in millions of casualties. In this war, Shixal and the anti-entropy fought back in full force. Fu Hua was dispatched to subdue the Herschers as a Shixal Valkyrie. In Fu Hua's long life, she has never ceased rethinking what fighting means, so she may one day slay all Herschers and eliminate Honkai. By then, she had found the way of defeating a Herrscher. With unparalleled combat experience and Feng Huang Down's power, Fu Hua overwhelmed the pseudo-Herrscher of fire and temporarily suppressed the second Herrscher, who possessed 6 Herrscher cores. Yet even with such nigh immeasurable power, she could not defeat the second Herrscher, who was under the protection of the will of Honkai. At the critical moment, Fu Hua sacrificed Feng Huang Down and her memories to activate Feng Huang Down's first power, Taishuan Eminence. It severely wounded the second Herrscher and cut off her connection with the will of Honkai, creating an opening for humanity to turn the tables. Fighting this war cost Fu Hua her memories and most of her power. Over a decade later, Fu Hua enrolled at St. Freya as an undercover agent. She became the class monitor of Kiana's class, to surveil the activity of the Herrscher of the Void inside Kiana. Although she approached Kiana and her friends with an ulterior motive, she regained long-lost friendships and bonds in a campus life full of joy and laughters. She carried out Otto's orders while secretly helping out Kiana and her friends to protect an addictive yet fragile balance of fate. However, the mission of eliminating Honkai ultimately made her side with the other end. She took away Kiana and helped Otto rouse the Herrscher of the Void. Little did she know that Otto did not play by the contract. He only roused the Herrscher for his selfish desires, not to protect others.
I mean, I'm fucking sorry, but how can you expect, like, reviving a Herrscher to be net positive for humanity in any way, shape, or form? That is...
To keep
I
Fu Hua
don't
out of his
understand
plan,
that.
He shot her. To stop Otto's plan, Fu Hua activated Feng Huang Down's 0th power before dying, to transfer her sentience partially into the feathers and bind her sentience with Kiana's soul. Feng Huang Down, which bore Fu Hua's sentience, led Himiko to the power that could confront the Herrscher of the Void, and provide the serum that could quell the Honkai energy inside Kiana. When Bronya was trapped in Grey's Serpent's Mind Labyrinth, Feng Huang Down appeared in time to help her escape.
Okay, that's what happened.
After the Herrscher of the Void begot a Honkai eruption, Kiana sunk into self-blame and loss. It was Fu Hua's sentience that supported her and taught her how to harness the Herrscher power. At last, to protect Kiana, Fu Hua's sentience burned herself out in the battle against Kevin and fell into a slumber. However, that was not the end of her story. After the Shixal battle, Otto repaired her body, only to revive a Fu Hua that was not the fighter who upheld her mission above all else and abolished her own desires. She had the looks of Fu Hua, but uttered frivolous, arrogant, and impetuous words. She had the memories of Fu Hua, but could not understand the motives underpinning them. She loathed Honkai as much as Fu Hua, but she was no different from Honkai in action. Purely driven by a desire for destruction, she destroyed. She killed Otto's clone and demolished half of Schicksal's headquarters. To vent her desire for destruction,
Well,
she
that
fought
plan
Durandal
backfired.
and Kevin to trick Fu Hua's sentience and Fan Huan down into submitting to her. She varnished over her motive time and again. To win the trust of Kiana and Bronya, she lured them into her memories to elicit their sympathy. In the end, she was not Fu Hua, but the 8th Herrscher born from her memories. Perhaps to the 8th Herrscher, this story that perpetuated itself for 50,000 years is an elaborated, pitiable tragedy. The Fu Hua that constrained herself and lived solely for her mission was nothing but a failure. She wanted to become a better Fu Hua. Perhaps the girl bathing in the sun on the grass 50,000 years ago would have had the same idea had she had learned the story of her life. It is a life that has seen too many betrayals, lies, and sacrifices. However, it is also a life that shaped Fu Hua into the remarkable fighter that her friends believe in and rely upon. What does the future have in store for her? We will find out together.
Okay, surprisingly, this did not provide the context I was looking for that silly Bronya stuff. But yeah, that's all for today. And as I did with this one, I will be again, once I release the video, I will be taking notes, reading all your comments, and sorta piecing the story also from what you guys are saying. And yeah, that's all for now. And thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you as always in the next one.